Taylor Sheridan's forgotten cameo in his best movie explains why he was insufferable in Yellowstone. Taylor Sheridan's brief, poetic cameo in Hell or High Water is a stark contrast to his loud, often grating role as Travis Wheatley in Yellowstone. Pride goeth before the pool party. That's the phrase that kept echoing in our head as we rewatched Hell or High Water, a film many fans consider a dusty elegy to American despair and, ironically, the best thing Taylor Sheridan has ever touched. Indeed, before he became the narrative puppeteer behind the sprawling Yellowstone saga, Sheridan made a cameo in Hell or High Water, a brief, poetic whisper amid a cacophony of grit and loss. That fleeting moment, where he plays a cowboy lamenting the vanishing frontier, encapsulates his intimate understanding of the American West's slow death. Yet, in Yellowstone, his recurring character, Travis Wheatley, feels less like a subtle echo and more like a bulldozer of the storyline. This discrepancy reveals why many fans found Sheridan's on-screen presence insufferable, a case of a storyteller who mastered restraint in his writing but failed to master it in front of the camera. Why Taylor Sheridan's Yellowstone cameo frustrates fans. Hell or High Water remains the crown jewel of Taylor Sheridan's oeuvre, a film layered with moral ambiguity and sharp character sketches that feel like a direct ancestral blueprint for Yellowstone's sprawling drama. His history with neo-westerns, the poetic sadness in Hell or High Water, the chilling tension in Sicario, and the haunting isolation of Wind River underscore a creative mind capable of complexity and depth. The irony? His most personal on-screen moment was a whisper, but his Yellowstone presence felt like a shout, drowning out the story he originally sought to tell. Sure, Sheridan's storytelling hooked us from day one. His knack for painting the West in raw, unforgiving strokes made me feel like we were breathing dusty air on a sprawling ranch, living the fight for legacy and survival. We've watched Hell or High Water countless times. Sheridan's cameo there felt like a secret gift, a moment where the man behind the curtain quietly nodded to us, saying, "I get it. This is real." But here's where our fandom gets complicated. Watching Sheridan play Travis Wheatley in Yellowstone felt less like a respectful nod and more like an unwelcome hijacking. Let's read a few fans' comments. When your creator becomes a character that takes screen time away from the Duttons, it's like your favorite band's lead singer suddenly starts singing off-key solos that just don't belong. Hell or High Water is the blueprint for Yellowstone's soul. Hell or High Water follows Toby, Chris Pine, and Tanner, two brothers robbing banks to save their mother's land, a plot echoing John Dutton's ruthless protection of his ranch in Yellowstone. Both narratives swirl with desperation and a fierce commitment to family legacy. Taylor Sheridan's genius shines brightest here. He creates protagonists who are neither heroes nor villains, but human beings trapped by circumstance. Here's the rub. Sheridan's characters often embody his personal connection to the West's fading mythos, but Travis Wheatley lacks the layered humanity found in Toby or Tanner. Instead, Wheatley feels like a narrative afterthought inflated into prominence. Sheridan's penchant for stepping into his own stories on screen sometimes morphs from homage to hogging the spotlight. Fans' frustration peaked in Yellowstone's final season, where Sheridan's character seemingly commandeered the penultimate episode. It's as if the man who once whispered about the frontier's demise decided to scream his own importance, overshadowing Kevin Costner's John Dutton and diluting the series' hard-earned gravitas. While both creations share thematic DNA, their storytelling styles diverge significantly. The film's intimacy versus the series' epic scope means Sheridan's strengths as a screenwriter sometimes falter when he crosses into acting in his own show. If Sheridan could distill the poetic subtlety of his Hell or High Water cameo into Yellowstone's vast canvas, the show might have retained the nuanced edge that made the film so unforgettable. Instead, we got Travis Wheatley, a character whose presence often feels as misplaced as a cowboy hat at a black tie gala. So here's our unsolicited advice for Taylor Sheridan. Keep writing those rich, complicated narratives that make us think and feel. But maybe step back from the camera and let your characters speak for themselves. Because the best way to honor the fading American frontier is with a quiet voice, not a clanging cymbal.